All right, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us in what was episode 7, I believe, of From the
Something like
Nosebleeds.
that,
It's
7,
been a
8,
while.
9, 10.
Sorry it's taken so long. We had some issues with the live podcast. Didn't end up getting it to work. Really sucks. But I think the last time we talked, we were talking about USA playing Ghana, and now USA's out. So sorry it's been so long.
We've come a long way, though, as a country.
Yeah, all three of our schedules have been a little weird, but we're back. We're going to try and start cranking them out at least once a week if we can. Sometimes it's just a little hard now, especially with 4th of July weekend, America.
Hope everyone was safe.
Yeah.
All 10 digits.
So obviously,
There's 10 of you that probably watch this.
obviously we've got a lot of stuff to talk about since our last show. We're not going to cover it all. We're going to go ahead and just cover what's been prominent in the news this week. So we'll definitely we'll go ahead and we'll start with the World Cup. Me and Trey, obviously, big time soccer fans, big time USA fans. I think everybody's. I mean,
It's safe to say
everybody's
a
a USA fan, but
It's to what extent do you know about soccer?
yeah,
Not just in this
yeah.
country, but around the world. Which, in most people's cases, not much?
which I mean,
Well, not in our country.
the thing that I've heard, like usually every 4 years when the World Cup rolls around, everybody gets all in on the USA bandwagon.
Yeah.
Everybody's pulling for America to win, and then we're usually either knocked out of the group stage, or like this year and last year we lost in the round of.
I think what
32.
it is, it brings the country together.
Well, yeah, it's
Nothing
nice.
brings the country together more than sports, and honestly going against other countries, because
Yeah.
the Winter Olympics just happened, and I don't know how many people are truly hockey fans, but it seems like everybody was in for the USA team. So I think it's the same thing for the soccer team, but I feel like they brought in more fans for the long run.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
and
you
it's
agree?
like the only thing is, I feel like it's a little different this year. Usually in the past years, it's once USA's out, kind of quit caring. But I've seen more and more people that they're tuning in to watch other games, not just USA Ghana,
Seen a
USA
lot of the
Portugal,
tweets,
Germany.
right?
I've seen like
Mhm.
people were watching the Netherlands Costa Rica game the other day.
The Dutch seem to be the favorite around
Brazil
Middle Tennessee
games,
at this point.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree?
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter that are. You can kind of tell that they've
I think at this
found
point,
another team besides America
Yeah,
that
right.
has a legitimate chance of winning, and they've kind of latched onto them, and they're following their games and other teams. A lot of people are following Messi.
I like Messi, but I think at this point I'm rooting for the Dutch
Yeah, I mean,
I like-
I've liked the Dutch in the last
like
World
Van
Cup a
Persie.
lot.
a lot, actually. One of my favorites.
Van Persie's all right. I like watching the Dutch play. I like their style of play. Robin's kind of gotten on everybody's bad side.
with his flopping issues
But-
that everybody's.
I don't.
Overall, I would not be mad if the Dutch won. I really don't have a problem with many of the teams that left. Coming in, I had Brazil over Argentina, which is still a possibility, but Brazil they're just beat up, and without Neymar and they're
Well,
losing Thiago Silva in the
Braz-
next game, beating
yeah.
Germany is going to be a hard task.
Brazil versus Germany and Netherlands versus Argentina. So honestly, I'd rather see an Argentina-Netherlands matchup. But as long as the Germans lose, I mean, can we agree on that?
Well, honestly, I think Germany.
They're in
I
position
think
now.
Germany's gonna win, but I think overall, I think it's gonna be Germany, Netherlands, and
Yeah,
Netherlands.
Argentina and Netherlands isn't possible.
No.
That's what I would have liked to seen that, but they're playing each other for the semis.
Yeah.
Brazil is in a tough spot.
Yeah,
They're
I just
two
think
starters
they've
here,
been playing,
including your best players. So
And they've had a lot of games against much lesser competition than Germany that came down to the wire. I mean, the Chile game was, they were literally 2 shots off the post, and Chile, if those
Yeah.
happen to squeak in, Chile wins the game.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, and I mean, without Neymar and without, like you said, Thiago Silva, I feel like they're gonna definitely struggle.
Big issue in Brazil. I mean, I was watching just a little short piece, little documentary thing, not a documentary, just a little short story that ESPN did up the other day. What's going to happen if, and I think when, Brazil gets knocked out? What is that country going to do? This whole World Cup has been a massive, polarizing, divisive controversy over there. I mean, there's people rioting it. There have been riots, but there's been people protesting this World Cup because the country as a whole spent so much money putting this World Cup together, building these stadiums, that they honestly didn't have. I mean, the country is bankrupt, and basically if Brazil doesn't win, it was all for nothing. They built these they spent billions of dollars on this World Cup, and they put these huge, nice stadiums in the slums in the Amazon of Brazil.
Yeah.
And the country as a whole, like the poor people of Brazil, are
Still
struggling even worse. Worse. I mean, that money could have been used to help the economy, but honestly, it might help it a little bit if Brazil wins. But if Brazil gets knocked out, even in the semifinals, I mean, that's a great run for any other country. But if they get knocked out,
but
there could be riots. There could be deaths in the street while the World Cup's going on.
I mean, we obviously see how corrupt FIFA is by giving Qatar that World Cup.
And that's still to be decided.
Right. So I would say if it wasn't for that, you'd think they'd be smarter. And I know you got to spread the wealth, but you got to put it in countries that are economically equipped to handle it. America's got stadiums everywhere that we wouldn't have to build anymore. London, if you based it in Great Britain, would be another shot. Anywhere established in Europe. But when you have to just bankrupt a country like this to get your tournament together, it just seems unfair.
Qatar's kind of the opposite. They're not going bankrupt. They're just...
Well, I was just using that
they're just
corruption.
They're just billion-dollar oil guys that struck oil, and they've got a crap ton of money. So I
feel like if they
building
put
the stadiums
in a smarter area.
I understand.
But they corrupt, so they give it to who gives
America's an easy spot just because we've got...
Well, I'm not saying keep it in America.
We've got 32 stadiums you could use. Every NFL stadium could be used.
Mm-hmm. And actually, some soccer teams now have their own in the MLS.
Oh, yeah.
Select few, but they have their own.
I think you would need, for the amount of viewers that the World Cup brings, you would need at least a...
I think the last send-off...
I mean, you could hold it in college stadiums. Could you imagine watching a FIFA game in Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor? Over 100,000 people there?
The SEC's got 100,000 stadium.
UT holds over 100,000.
LSU and Texas
Alabama's at 90 something.
They held the World Cup in the United States in like 94. And they played in Stanford University Stadium. And they played in
probably in the
Giants
in USC.
They played in New York Giants Stadium. I remember a few off the top of my head. Just, they would probably play in Dallas now because that'd be huge. Cool.
Would they play on that fake field though? Would you play soccer on that?
They could maybe import real field, but I don't think
they'd probably have to go open air stadiums.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's the only thought because you've got plenty of indoor venues like New Orleans and Atlanta if you're talking about big domes, or even Indianapolis. But can you play soccer on synthetic field? I've never heard of that being done.
They do it.
It hurt like hell if you fell on it.
I don't know if they would do it for
an international World Cup. I think you'd have to go natural grass.
They do it, yeah.
That'd just be.
I've played on turf before over at one of the local high schools. It's the nicest field I ever played on.
Yeah, this is true. Well, so what are your predictions then for the two semifinal games? And then with your prediction, the championship prediction.
I think Trey Caller. I think Germany's going to get past Brazil. It would take Brazil would just have to play like this. The Neymar injury is devastating, and that's just going to have to be some odd injury that happens to inspire the team and lift them, and they're playing for Neymar. It's going to have to be one of those things. But without Neymar and their captain Silva, I find it hard that they're going to be able to get past Germany. With Germany's arguably maybe next to the Dutch. That's the only team that could probably rival them. So they're probably the deepest team in the tournament.
Yeah,
so is it going to be...
got everybody.
Like, they're pulling EPL starters off their bench.
Yeah.
So we're going...
I would go Germany and then
Germany
in
versus
the other game.
The Dutch, or does Messi rival?
I think
Argentina's
that's an actually an even match game.
You think?
Yes, every team left in this World Cup's played bad games. Germany against the USA was not pretty. Germany against Ghana was... they had to score late to tie that and get the equalizer. Brazil's probably looked the worst out of the four left. Argentina, I wouldn't say sloppy. They've played. It looks like they've played the level of their competition. There's been a couple of games where they kind of just
if they do that, it wouldn't be the worst thing against the Dutch.
At the end of the game, they said, "All right, time to win," and Messi did his thing, and they put in late goals and got 3 points. And then
the win is a win at the end of the day, especially in this stage, survive in advance.
And then the Dutch against Costa Rica was rough. They didn't play necessarily bad. They just didn't capitalize on any of their opportunities.
A lot of chances they did. I saw that one. A lot of chances that the Dutch just didn't capitalize on. But on the flip side, great defense from Costa Rica. Obviously it was a lot of in your 6-box defense that shouldn't happen. But that thigh save was a thing of beauty, and the goalie had a couple kick saves that Tim Howard would be impressed by. So Costa Rica not a slot there, but obviously do you think the mind games kind of played an effect with
Yeah,
the
when they
goalies?
subbed in Tim Krul, that was a total mind game. I mean, that's just
Because any
because
goalie it's a penalty kick.
I mean, the goalie they had in he's a great goalie, top class, and they bring in this guy, and if I'm Costa Rica, I'm just kind of looking over like, wait, why are they doing that? And that takes your mind off what you need to be focusing on. You need to be focusing on, I need to make this shot. Instead, you're thinking, well, why is this guy in the game? What's he doing? You don't know his. I mean, you've been playing against the other goalie for
the whole game,
120 minutes now, and you're like, I know this guy's tendencies a little bit. And this guy comes in, and you're just like, you don't know what to expect. And also, he's the biggest guy on their roster. The goalie they brought in, he's huge.
I heard the commentator said so. Asking two career soccer guys here, is there a goalie that can be a PK specialist?
No,
or
I don't
is it
like
just as much luck for any goalie? Because they always guess. It seems to me.
At that level, it's about 90% guessing. There's sometimes where you can by body language, and you can.
So if you're not good at reading their body language, you pretty much take a guess and hope for the best.
It's pretty much guessing.
And a lot of them kind of like you know a player's tendencies because a lot of the players they go the same way.
They're right or left.
They have a set shot that they have down, and they just have it to the point where if they hit it like they know they can, goalie's not gonna be able to stop it.
Yeah.
But like I've heard a lot of guys saying, because now that this is the kind of the frustrating thing for me is once the cup rolls around, everybody's all in on soccer and it's awesome, and like you're like cool, everybody cares, we're all in on America, but then you get these idiotic suggestions from media talking heads that think they know about soccer and think that any player any human with an athletic bone in his body could just pick up a soccer ball and be good. The fact that people are saying that LeBron James could be a premier striker or goaltender is absolutely ludicrous, and you're a freaking idiot if you think that.
No, yeah.
LeBron, most athletic person probably in America. He's a freak athlete. But he cannot just go pick up a soccer ball or go stand in a goal and block a shot. No. He's freaking huge. He's like, what is he, 6'8", 250? That is ridiculously big. He would be by far the biggest guy on the pitch. Yeah, you might get him a header. He has no idea. Like, he probably could barely even dribble a damn soccer ball.
Clay Travis wrote it best. If anyone is familiar, go to Outkick the Coverage and read his article on it. He compared it very well, saying just because you're athletic, you can run fast for a long time, doesn't mean you can play soccer. Because he compared it to baseball and made it perfect. Just because you can play basketball at the top level, if you go to a baseball field, you're athletic. Does that mean you can pitch 95 miles an hour?
No, exactly.
No. Soccer is a specialty sport.
Yes.
You might be able to be an NFL punter and just flat out punt the ball, but do you have the touch to score?
And then people
do you have the dribbling abilities? Can you pass the ball accurately across the pitch on a cross for your teammate to hit a header? You've got this much margin of error. Can you do that? And then, no, you can't. It's a specialty sport.
People like over dramatize it and they're like, well, if you gave LeBron James 4 years to train, could he not be a top level goalie? Maybe. If you give him 4 years training with Jurgen Klinsmann or something, he could probably be a top level athlete.
He could probably any NFL wide receiver or cornerback.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Similar size,
anybody.
Traditional.
But this, what would he pick up faster? Would LeBron James be a better, we'll say goalie? Because I think that's what you would have to put him
goalie, because you're right. He's so much bigger. Yeah. He is quick. He'd have less distance to cover.
What would take less time for him to pick up and be a legitimate world star? Like, not just we're going to start him because he's LeBron James. We're going to start him because he's the best.
Or something.
He's the best. He's the best guy we have. How long would it take for him to make? What would he make faster? Would he make a Pro Bowl or U.S. men's national team roster? Not even starting. Would he make the roster, the 23-man roster?
Well, the only question I'd have for you would be, how do we decide his football voting? Obviously, the Pro Bowl's turned into kind of a fan vote. If it's based on skills alone...
Yeah, we'll say skills and stats.
I don't know. I mean...
Is Howard competition... Is Howard one of the goalie... Because he's got 3 goalie slots on the national team.
Yeah.
If Howard is in there, I'm kind of... If it's no Howard and we're trying to find the next goalie, if you gave him 4 years, I'd say he'd have a shot, but at the same time...
would it take him 4 years to make a Pro Bowl, or would it take him 1 or 2 years?
Oh, that's a good point.
You slap him in at tight end?
Yeah, you're right. I think I'd have to go with Pro Bowl because That's the biggest.
I think it would
Red
take
zone
them much
threat.
longer to learn soccer than it would just learn simple techniques and tactics. You can't just throw a raw athlete in there and be like, jump into the upper 90 and save this.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side of that, though, I mean, LeBron's a basketball player. I mean,
Right.
obviously he's not a football player, so my concern would be,
I think
could he
football
handle the amount of contact in football?
Yeah,
I mean, I know
This
he's a
is
big
true.
guy,
This is true as well.
but still, he doesn't get hit on the regular like all these football players do.
And that's a good comparison. I think that just shows that every athlete in every sport is one hell of an athlete. If you make Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, MLS, EPL, whatever soccer league, NHL, if you're a professional athlete, we get it. You're athletic.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a generalization to be a professional athlete. You're an athlete. You're athletic. But the unique skill set for each sport is so diverse. You can't really take anybody from one sport that's an all-star and put them in anything else and expect them to be successful.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of funny how we do that if you think about it. Like,
Nobody-
for somebody like
it's
LeBron,
like every
just,
sport, like everybody
Nobody's
thinks that
asking
LeBron
Peyton
could just
Manning to just go
yeah.
pitch for the Yankees.
people think LeBron could just literally step on any field or any
yeah.
gym, whatever, and play any sport in the world and be
Well,
the best.
It's so funny because someone like LeBron James, who has trained his entire life to be as good as he is at basketball, and we're like, 4 years, no problem. He'd be a Pro Bowl. He'd be a
Exactly.
Pro Bowler
Well, that's
easy.
the thing.
He
Other
picked
guys
up
have-
soccer for 12 months, no problem.
There's
He'd be
been
on the
people that
U.S. team.
spent as much time as he has on basketball on their sport. I don't think LeBron's going to put on some ice skates and go be a top-line hockey guy.
No, honestly, there's no way in hell.
Well, that's the same thing. It's the exact same comparisons as expecting him to be able to just put on a pair of cleats, get on some shin guards, and go out there and
I
be
feel
the top
like
striker.
somebody
It's
would
just not
make
gonna
a
happen.
fool of him. Like somebody would
Yeah.
break his damn ankles in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
He's an athlete, so if you're talking about athletic, go take a U.S. sprinter.
Yeah.
Theoretically, wouldn't
think
he be
honestly-
able to run past? If you can get him, if you can just lob the ball, so where he doesn't have to worry about dribbling it the whole
Yeah.
length of the pitch.
He was like an all-time
Couldn't
heading
he
specialist.
couldn't he just sprint down the field? And when you get within the box,
But I mean, what is
you got a shot to
Yeah,
score on the
he's
goal.
gotta-
But my thing is, I
Wouldn't
don't
you
think
think of
I
that
don't think
be
he'd be
just as successful as LeBron could be?
I don't think that. Oh yeah, if you're talking about a U.S. sprinter, I'm out there. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. If you think LeBron can just do it, why not any
Yeah.
other athlete? I hate that
Um,
everybody is on his nuts.
Yeah.
There are great athletes. He's not the only great athlete in this country.
But
I'd
I think-
honestly be more inclined to take probably a speedy linebacker versus LeBron, or possibly a football receiver.
I
or
think
a
LeBron
cornerback.
is in. I think we kind of think that he can just translate in any sport because I think basketball requires probably some of the most athleticism over any other sport. I think
Right.
football, you can learn to catch football pretty easily. You gotta learn to run a route and then just catch the damn ball. Try not to get hit.
There's other
I think-
things
I
in
think
that too.
the-
And you're a football fan. I think I'd expect it's a little more difficult.
I mean, yeah, there's things you gotta pick up on, but I think it would be easier than most sports to pick up football than
I think
basketball requires to be a top tier basketball player, you have to be a freak athlete.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, you've got to be able to shoot the ball in that tiny ass goal,
was it like a
tiny ass
foot
hoop,
around?
whatever.
I don't know the
Not to
circumference of
mention,
the rim.
10 feet high.
the turnovers, the turnover rate, and the amount of points that are scored in NBA basketball. You are constantly running.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your
Yeah,
conditioning and your endurance has to be through the roof.
My thing would be, I would be interested to see. I'd be interested to see how long LeBron would last in a soccer game because he's used to running up and down the court, but now he's running up and down a huge ass field,
Something longer than a
100
football field.
Yeah, it's
Wider
the
than a
length
football
of a football field if you add in both end zones. It's
So,
100.
like, back of the end
It's
zone, back of the
120.
end zone.
Yeah, 120 yards.
And it's wider. How wide is it in
Uh,
football terms? What do you think?
It's like
Football field's 50 wide. So what do you think?
I think it's
70?
like 6. I don't know the exact. I think it's like 60 something wide. I don't know, 60 or 70 something wide. But it's huge. And I mean, if you're saying he's gonna be playing if you slap him in the midfield, those are the ones that run the most. Midfield usually runs from at least
That's the thing, you're
18
going
to
up and
18
down.
for 90 minutes, 120 minutes if it goes to extra time.
Mhm.
The average midfielder in a 90-minute game probably runs 7 to 8 miles.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah, which is
So
ridiculous.
I think overall we can agree. We can put that little debate to rest.
Yeah.
Because he can be a great athlete. He can run all day. That doesn't mean he can kick the ball where he needs to kick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of finesse and the amount of
That's a touch.
placement that's... I mean, I've played soccer my entire life, and I can still barely... I can place the ball where I want it pretty decently, but, I mean, it's taken me 16, 17, 18 years to even get to that level, to where I could place it where I want it.
Yeah, I mean, this is fun to talk about just because it's so hypothetical, but...
I played 1 year and I did okay.
we
You guys
touched
can vouch for that. I started.
We touched on all the other countries and what we think's gonna happen. Let's go ahead and we can talk about the USA. They're out of it now, but definitely a solid showing. And I know that's kind of hard for some people who aren't soccer fans to understand, because especially after the Germany game, we were kind of pumped up about a loss. Like, football fans in America and just American sports fans were like struggling to wrap their head around that. Like, we lost, but it's still good because we still advanced. Like, wait, you didn't win, but you kind of did win.
Well, it's a point thing.
I mean, and also, it's, if you think about it, I mean, we only really won one game.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's kind of playing devil's advocate. Everybody's saying we did so well, but you're right, we won
My
one
God,
game.
if it was only 4 minutes of extra time, we'd have won 2.
Or if Bradley puts one in.
Or
There's so many what ifs.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask
So
you a
many
question about
close
let me ask
goals.
you a question about the end of regulation against Belgium. Was he flagged offsides?
No. They replayed. He didn't get offsides.
I
He
couldn't
just,
remember
he
if they
just
said
missed
he
the
straight
shot.
up wanked
because
it.
I don't want to blame anybody because everybody had chances, but he was kind of right there.
I mean, that's just one of those things where you
tap, and we're talking about, and we might have lost the next game.
No, we would have played Argentina next. So,
So Messi might have put 6 goals on us. I don't know, but if I don't want to blame one player because my God, it's a team sport, and I know other guys miss goals too.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of chances in just about every game.
Oh my God,
Ghana's the
right
only
there.
game that we had adversity and we battled back and we overcame it.
I felt like we kept getting injured. Everybody was
I mean,
hurt.
Altidore going down in the very first game.
We
really
weren't
hurt.
statistically. That was one of the knocks I've heard on Klinsmann, not just from Donovan, who came off a little bitter to me, but other people. Tactically, the roster didn't look set and balanced. I mean, we lost Altidore. We didn't really have an answer.
Well,
Dempsey's not a run down the field at full speed every play kind of forward.
We kind of talked about this when the roster was set. I mean, I was really mad that Donovan wasn't on. But now that it's over and I've gotten a chance to see all these young guys like Johansson and
DeAndre
Yedlin
Yedlin and Jermaine Jones.
Yeah,
I know he's a little older,
he's
but
got
he-
one
he-
World Cup left in him,
So
probably.
that's one thing I was going to ask. With the turnover, who do you think comes back from this team? Does Howard come
No,
back?
no,
Howard's
Does Dempsey
done.
come back?
Yeah, Dempsey will be
Does
back.
Bradley come back?
Bradley will be back.
So you're thinking, Dempsey and Bradley, because I was seeing articles that were saying all these old guys are
We'll
gone.
lose.
They're talking about losing Dempsey,
we'll lose
Howard,
Beasley.
Bradley, Beckerman,
Yeah.
Beasley,
No. I think all those guys. I think
Zusi. They're throwing out names here of like half the team and mostly starters that won't be back.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think there's any truth to that? I mean,
yeah,
4
4
years, in
years
the
you
future.
never know. I mean, right now you can't definitively say that. Howard, you can definitively say.
You
he's
think?
done.
I mean, how old
he'll
is
be
he?
he'll be 40 years old next World Cup.
How old's Robin?
He's done, and he's already come out and said that that was probably his last World Cup.
Howard did.
Yeah. Robin, this is Robin's last one.
Yeah, Robin's.
I know he's older, so I'm just saying, what's the oldest do you think a player's played at? I mean, do you think Howard could make the
Beasley's
team?
pretty old.
Do you think Howard
Beasley's
could
like
make
30.
the team?
Beasley's like 37 or something.
Do you think Howard could make the team as a backup? Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think he would want that. I mean,
Is he still playing consistently in Everton?
yeah.
Do you think he'd come to the MLS now?
I
Like
mean,
all old
it's a
soccer legends
possibility.
do?
I mean, if he's still at the level where he can play at the Premier League, I mean, why not? Go for it. But, I mean, this was a great last showing for Howard. The country really got behind him and supported him, and it was fun to watch him play. I mean, he's at the peak of his career right now. That's this thing that kind of sucks
that's
about the World
crazy.
Cup is
Do you think
he's
he can
at
go
his-
from his peak
he's at his
to
peak right now.
nothing in 4 years?
not to nothing, but just I mean, Brad Guzan, the guy who's behind him, a lot of people don't know because I mean, all we know is Tim Howard. Guzan is a really good goalkeeper,
Where does he
and come
play
next
at?
World Cup, he'll be probably early 30s, I think. So he'll
You
be
know where
close.
he plays at? Guzman?
No, I
His country,
can't
his
think of it
club
off the
team?
top of my head. He's a solid goalie, and he played in a lot of the World Cup and like the friendly games leading up to the World Cup.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
the
just-
qualifiers and friendlies leading up to it.
Well, yeah, because Howard's been playing with Everton. I mean, the qualifying teams don't always look like the final roster.
No, I mean almost never do.
We're just getting guys here.
It's a lot of the times, especially in soccer. I mean, you say 4 years, yeah, really isn't a lot, but I mean it's a lot of time
And-
to progress for a player.
And when you think about it like this, like we're saying in 4 years we're not going to have these guys, but my thing is I'm very optimistic. Not necessarily 2018. I think 2018 we're going to be a solid team. We should be able to get past this round of 32 and at least into 16, I think. But by 2022, I think we should be talking about being a contender to win it in 2022. I think 4 years sounds like a long time, and 8 years sounds even longer, and a lot of American sports fans hate that because
It's just
we're
so
in
much
like a
time.
society now that we want to win now. Like even in like just American football, it's
Yeah.
like if somebody's not working, get them the hell out. Get somebody in that does. Like we give coaches have maybe 3 years to win, and that's a
Yeah.
stretch. Like if you suck real bad in your first year, get the hell out.
Well, that's the thing. You've got football every year.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you've got 4 championships in all the other leagues come by and go in the time it takes you to get to one World Cup.
My thing is, in 4 years and in 8 years, these guys that just got their first World Cup experience at ages 17, 18, 19, guys like Yedlin and Johansson,
Green.
they're going to be
I'm looking at
they're going to be like 24, 26, 27 in
Goose
2022.
Guzan plays for Aston Villa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he does play in EPL.
It's going to be these guys are going to be at the peaks of their careers, and they've had 8 years to develop, hopefully under a Klinsmann system. And Klinsmann will finally have, we talk about this a lot in football, when a new coach comes in. Klinsmann will have his team and his system in place. We talk about that.
Just so you guys know, DeAndre Yedlin's our age.
Yeah, I know.
His birthday's in 2 days.
What am I doing with my life?
He's 21. I'm going to be 21 in October. And
He's 20 years old and just finished playing a World Cup. I'm 20 years old and
We're
working in an
that's
Italian
how
restaurant.
That's how. Yeah, no.
He plays for Seattle, so
Anthony
obviously
Davis is 11 days older than I am.
Anthony Davis.
No.
Of the New Orleans Pelicans. Anthony
Yeah.
Davis.
Yeah.
Oh,
11 days
There's
older.
guys our age. I mean, look at it now. There's guys younger than us that are in college playing football that are going to go play in the NFL one day.
My
We're
thing-
here.
He might be born in 2004. I mean 94, not 2004.
Yeah.
It's all good.
94. I don't know.
But
So a lot of hope. Can
Yeah,
you just say
and
a bright spot?
I was really angry at Klinsmann when he left Dominov, and now he's kind of growing me just because we did. I mean, I expected us to get absolutely shat on with that roster, and
the
we
fact
did.
that we managed to come out of the group of death.
Yes, he showed a lot of promise, and it
I think-
shows me that his system
I think
could work. In America.
Pre-World Cup, everyone in the rest of the world would have put their houses on Germany and Portugal advancing.
Yeah,
No mind the order, just those two.
and then
And us just whatever. Maybe we're third, maybe we're fourth.
yeah, I think to equate it to American football fans, it's a lot like college football when a new head coach comes in, like UT fans with Butch Jones right now. They're still not. This still isn't his team.
Would
He's
you
still
say
got
that-
Derek Dooley guys left
Yeah.
over.
Would
And
you-
you give him about 3 years to
That's a
Get-
very good.
to get all of
So
the
would you
old
say-
guys recruits out and get his guys in playing his style of football.
Would you say that was, since we still agree that was a very good stepping stone? Would you say that was like a 7-5 Music City Bowl season?
Yeah, getting out of the group stage is like
We
making
got the
a
bowl game.
It's like making a bowl game your
We
first
made
year.
a bowl game. We're not in the BCS or
No.
championship playoffs, but we're.
Like that's maybe even better than UC. That's maybe like a
What do you think, Gator Bowl?
Gator Bowl or a Capital One Bowl or something.
See, we know how to help people understand.
Yeah.
And you're right. So we give his full roster. And
By the next World Cup, everybody on that team will be Klinsmann approved, and they'll have had the last 4 years
so how many more?
to train under his
How many more
offensive
German
system
Americans?
and his whole.
He
tactical
likes his
system.
German guys.
Do what?
He likes his German guys because Fabian Johnson.
I like his
Jermaine
German guys
Jones.
too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know
Fabian
they're
Johnson
German
is
American, but
awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know. Let's address that because I saw a lot of stuff flying around Twitter that
he
well,
likes
we've
his
got these
German
guys playing our team. They're not even American. First of all,
Do you people not understand
Let
how
me
U.S.
understand-
citizenship works?
Well, that, and let me explain to you.
These are servicemen's children.
Yes, these people are German. Mostly, I mean, there's a couple of them who kind of moved
It
to
said
America.
Fabian
But
Johnson was born
Yes.
in Germany to an American soldier
Yes.
stationed in Germany.
exactly, that's what happens the majority of the time.
It's called dual
It's one of our
citizenship.
military. It's one of our military men and women is stationed
I
overseas.
think Jones was too.
Yeah, and they have a child overseas.
He
I'm
still
sorry.
gets citizenship in America.
But that is about as American as you can get. Your
My dad
military
was on the other side of the
men
world.
or mother or father
Johnson,
had
they
you
said
stationed
Fabian's,
overseas and brought you back into America.
Fabian's father was the American
Yeah.
soldier, German mother.
And then at that point, and when it happens like that,
I think Jermaine
they
Jones
get
as well.
they have the choice, like because they're technically he was born in Germany, so he's technically a German
Like I
citizen.
said, dual
But
citizenship.
then they come back and they're in America for so long. They're
Jermaine Jones actually was said because he plays in the, I think he plays for Bayern Munich. That's what they said. He was actually playing with the German team a while back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have like a grace period where they can switch because he chose Germany initially, and
Was
then
it? Did they say last World Cup?
no,
he tried
no,
to qualify with the
Yeah,
German
he
team.
can't.
Didn't
What
make
if
it.
if you would have played with him for that long, he wouldn't have been able to come back. But there's like I don't remember what the exact time period is, but there's a certain time period. Like he chose Germany, played with them, and then changed his mind soon enough to where that it was all right that he came back, and now he's playing for America. And
Right.
no more.
And I don't
switches.
mind.
Yeah,
I just
no more
I know
switches.
I know a few media people made a big deal. Klinsman's just picking out these German Americans, but
I
at the
mean,
end
they
of the
have
day-
talent. I mean,
at the
Fabian
end of the
Johnson
day,
and Jermaine Jones were some of
that's
the best
the-
players on the field.
that's the important thing. They're German American, still have their citizenship.
Yeah, I mean,
They're American, and they're at World Cup talent levels.
that's like
He's not just picking some kid off of military base that can't play soccer just because he's half German. These
Yeah.
guys play at the top-notch level.
let's equate this back to another American sport. That's like Spurs fans bitching about having Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili because they're not American. Get these Argentine
Parker and
bitches
Boris,
off our
Parker and
teams.
Boris Diaw are French.
yes,
Ginobili's Argentinian,
yeah,
so I'm sure he's happy.
yeah. I mean, like when
Uh,
you saw when they won, they all had flags of their different countries. Like
And
the
that's
Spurs
why-
are like a freaking melting pot, man.
And that's why America, that's why these people love this country, because our national sports here have people from all over the world. I'd say maybe football's the only one that's a little iffy. You got guys from Canada. Not
Yeah,
too
you don't
far
have
away.
too many
But
foreigners.
baseball,
Yeah.
basketball, hockey, majority of the league's non-American. Maybe not basketball, but hockey and baseball.
Yeah, in hockey, it's like, damn, he's American? Cool.
And there was a few things in the World Cup that surprised me with Jurgen Klinsmann. I know going into the World Cup, I really wasn't a big fan. Like you said, leaving Donovan off the roster really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Saying we have 0% chance to win.
Yeah.
we
I
like
was-
Landon Donovan a lot.
But there was a few subtle things that he did in the World Cup that kind of took the edge off for me. Because one was that every time the national anthem was played, he was singing the national anthem.
And he didn't do his interviews in German.
Yeah,
either.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
After the German game, he refused to answer questions in German.
Yeah, yeah.
He's pretty much given up his German.
And I mean,
he's given
and
up his
people think
finger
that,
in Germany.
people think that like he just moved here from like Hitler's bunker or something. Like, no, he's been in America for like 17 years. He's a U.S. citizen.
Naturalized U.S.
Yes.
Again, can't stress this enough, people. FIFA won't let you play for a country if you don't have citizenship. Same thing with the Olympics. That's just how it works. You have to be a citizen.
But I admired that.
Yeah, I thought
That
that was
fact.
really cool. Like the German media was like asking him questions, and he refused to answer them except in English.
Serious question though. Does he speak German with his German players?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he's really pissed. 99999.
Yeah, I can see. him doing
I mean,
that.
when he talks, he still has
Oh,
the
yeah.
huge German draw. Just
Well, he's born and raised in Germany. Didn't come to America till a long time. That's when the accent sets
Yeah.
in. I came here as a 12-year-old, so I had somewhat of a Louisiana accent, but that wasn't long enough for it to set.
Yeah.
He came here as a grown man.
Yeah.
His accent's for life.
I mean, it's not his. I mean, even though you're from Louisiana, you're still speaking English. I mean, his,
It's
this
the
is
same
his second
it's,
language.
It's dialects here. Well, if he came here early enough, it would tone down. I've met people who have
Yeah, I mean, you see
somewhat of
guys,
an accent, but
you
it's
see
not
guys
as bad
on
as
TV.
his.
Yeah.
Well, I think overall still a very good future for, like you said, maybe
Yeah.
2 World Cups down the road. So the next one's in Russia. Where's the one after that? Is 2022 the one that's still up for debate?
Hopefully it's in America, but I mean,
Or do we have a realistic shot?
people are saying that if it gets stripped from Qatar, that we were second to get it. So I mean, it's possible, but
Would
I don't know if we
Qatar
want
cut
that
off-
juju on our hands.
Would Qatar cut off our oil?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you want to.
Well, it's not
screw with that.
America. FIFA is a world organization. They can't get mad at America.
They're a pretty dirty organization.
Yeah.
FIFA's
And
the
it's
dirty
a lot of
organization.
it's the American media who kind of
Oh, we're not.
Yeah,
know what
because
it is.
both
We are not
like
the only
both Sony and like Adidas have both come out and say we want to figure out what the hell's going on with this.
and
Like,
those are the two
We
biggest.
can't be the
sponsors.
only country that are upset
Powerade.
about the corruption of this World Cup going to Qatar.
No,
With
no.
all of the
No, but I mean, if
obviously with the most
if it
powerful.
comes to
but-
America, it's gonna. I don't know.
Oh, then
I
I'd
would
rather.
love that.
it
I'd
should be
there.
awesome.
Okay, anything in a 8-mile driving radius, we'll have to go. 12?
500,
What, miles or hours?
1,000 miles maybe.
No, I was talking about hour drive, like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, you
is
were. I was like
500
8
Oh.
mile radius, bro.
Yeah.
That's like
8 hours, man.
MTSU.
I mean, if it's in Nashville, I'd think about it, but anything past Smyrna, I'm out.
We'll bring him to Floyd here. Back to Blue and Floyd, baby. No, anything with an 8-hour, 10 hour radius. I mean, 8
Yeah.
hours, think about it. You go to the south for 8 hours, you're looking at New Orleans. 8 hours to the north, you're in Chicago.
I would probably drive ridiculous lengths to go see America play the World Cup.
Oh yeah.
Well, think about it. We've
Like,
got,
all right, guys, we're going to Cali.
So, how many games was it total in the World Cup? 60-something?
You mean teams?
No,
Or
like games.
Oh.
You know they've
I
got
don't
to
know.
put that
I mean-
in every outdoor football or college football stadium that's big enough. Think about the size stadiums around here. What if they put one in Neyland? Can you imagine?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them play in like the. I mean, you got a lot of games, but I mean, they're being played in like 4 or 5 venues.
Okay, so where
Yeah.
would you spread it out in America? What do you think would be the
You would
best
definitely
venue?
have one in
You
LA.
can't go- you can't
You'd
go-
definitely have one in New York.
You can't go just big. You got to go a little bit of everything built in. So we're looking at stadiums
I think
that
they
are
would just go big.
If we're just going big, you're thinking
Well,
about the
no,
biggest.
a
you're
lot of
thinking
because a
Jerry
lot of
World,
the thing,
Ann Arbor.
with the World Cup is they want to get you a taste of every different part of that
Yeah,
country
I mean, there
in
is-
each stadium.
There's a
East-
stadium in the freaking Amazon of Brazil, and then there's one right dead smack in the
So,
slums.
so what are we thinking? So we're thinking LA for sure. You've
LA
got
and
your
New
choice.
York.
You've got your choice of the Rose Bowl, the Coliseum, Galaxy Stadium. Go to New York. You've got MetLife. You could
got
probably, honestly, the way
Yankee
they turn,
Stadium or
they
something.
could turn Yankee Stadium into a soccer pitch. I've seen them do it with a football field. So anything is possible. I would think Miami would be in play. Sun Life Stadium.
Yeah, you go down and hit the beach.
Miami would definitely be in play.
I think somewhere
You've got
like
a
I think somewhere like
bevy of
Chicago and New
options.
Orleans would be
Yeah,
options.
for
Dallas.
For Texas is what I'm gonna say. Well, the thing with Louisiana is the dome is all synthetic, so maybe Tiger Stadium if you want to go to Louisiana.
That'd be cool.
Natural grass. You're right. Chicago is Soldier
think-
Field.
I think Ann Arbor would be awesome.
Ann Arbor. If we're going big, just big.
Yeah.
Ann Arbor, Dallas's Cowboy Stadium.
Neyland.
I think you go Neyland. Your choice of SEC stadiums that are revamping and going over 100. Ohio State's actually really, really big.
Texas A&M's. I think with this new renovation, they're going to hit 100.
Yeah, Texas A&M will be over 100,000. LSU will be right at 100,000.
Bama's at like 98 or 99.
Lucas Oil Stadium is ridiculously big.
That'd be a cool place to watch the game too.
So there's a lot of big stadiums. I think you got to go into a
You'd
factor
probably go to
of-
all the. I mean, if we're thinking realistically, it'd probably be all the stadiums that they hold qualifiers in. Which
So
LP Field, baby, they hold a qualifier game there.
so LP, Jacksonville.
Yeah, they do Tampa Bay Stadium a lot.
That'll be
Would they go to
bad.
Tampa as well?
Yeah.
God, would they just do the World Cup in Florida?
Yeah.
Think about it. You've got a lot of great
There's too
open
much
air
fucked up
stadiums.
shit that goes on in Florida. There's
You
no
got,
way.
you got Tampa Bay's. If we're talking NFL, you've got Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, and Miami, all great open air stadiums.
Yeah, and
Then
got
you look at college,
the Rays.
Florida State,
Yeah.
Florida. Miami plays in Sun Life. So that's right there is 5 big open air stadiums.
And
They
if
can
you wanna,
hold the
like-
World Cup in Florida.
If you want to convert like baseball stadiums, then you've got the Marlins and the Rays.
I think the Rays will be too small,
Probably.
but Marlins might work. But no, you got 5 big football stadiums right there.
Yeah.
They're set. Not to mention South Florida Stadium, Central Florida Stadium,
FIU.
FIU, FAU.
FAU.
A little bit smaller, but college stadiums.
The winner of the 2022 World Cup is Florida.
Not America, just Florida.
Just Florida.
Well, I mean, you look at
And
it.
everybody else in the entire world's like, Florida. What's
World Cup's
Florida?
taking its talents to South Beach.
Yeah, right? Oh, God, can you imagine the media? Or I guess you could do Texas, too, because they've got enough big college stadiums. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Dallas would hold 80% of the games.
or California could
Just
also
have
do
twos
any
and
of
ones
these-
going on in
Any of these
Dallas.
big states with multiple sports teams of size.
I mean, it's weird.
That's why America would have.
It's
They
weird
wouldn't
for
have
America
to
to
build
think about
anything.
it because some of America as a country is different than most countries because
We're so rich.
our states are as big as most actual countries.
Richer, too. Like a state
Yes.
budget
Like
is...
Texas could legitimately hold a World Cup. Like, that sounds strange because we're
Well,
just
we
like,
just
oh,
went
it's
over
just-
Florida.
It's just Texas. It's one of our 50 states, but Texas is bigger than
Can't
a
do it in
lot
hurricane
of
season,
countries.
though, just in case. World Cup falls right at the end of the World Cup falls right during hurricane season. So
Oh God. So we've hit the World Cup pretty good. It's been a good discussion.
good future for America. Good ending coming up for the world.
If you've tuned out since America lost, at least watch these last 4 games because these are legitimately the best teams the world has to offer. Check out these last 4 games. And then now let's transition into the NBA offseason and rumors.
I hate
galore.
LeBron.
So, okay, Hunter, we were talking about this before the show, and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to spark the argument right there. But me and you have totally different views on this LeBron thing. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think he's just going to re-sign and stay in Miami. But if we're going to have fun with it and go hypothetical, where would he go? You said you would hop back on the LeBron bandwagon if he went back to Cleveland.
Said he'd earn my respect
Yeah.
back. See, my thing with LeBron is I liked him in Cleveland. He was playing the hometown. He was trying to earn a title the honest way. Good supporting cast, but obviously no big three. And I felt like he really went way overboard with the decision.
Yeah.
Did what he was not entitled to at that point. He'd had a couple MVPs, which is still no easy feat.
No.
But no rings, no super records. He'd been thrashed by the Spurs in 4 games and 1 finals appearance. And then he had the media hoopla, and it just turned me off LeBron completely.
And
I was never a LeBron favorite. Kobe's always been my favorite as star players go.
Yeah.
But I respected LeBron. And
Yeah.
now this whole thing just turned me off of him. Recruiting like that, it sickened me.
That
is
was
what
my
it
big
was.
thing. I was all in on LeBron when he was in Cleveland. Like
I
was
loved
just
it.
like
I
every
wanted to
Miami
see the
fan
Cavs
right
win a
now.
championship. There is nothing good about the state of Ohio.
I was all
Nothing.
in on Miami. Like I rooted for them every time he took them in deep into the finals or stuff. I was a big LeBron fan. And then you're right, the decision kind of killed it for me. And then like the first year after the decision, I was like mega LeBron hater. Like screw you, LeBron. And then
but him
like
losing to Dallas.
I can still respect him. Like I know he's the best, and I don't really have a huge problem with winning.
I'm not doubting
it's
his
more-
talent. I don't like him as a person.
It's more
If anybody tries to say LeBron's not a good basketball player, you're on some kind of crack I don't know has been invented yet.
It's the fans of Miami that really turn me off at this point.
You should know very well. I hate Alabama fans because they're assholes, but you are a true Alabama fan.
Yeah.
And even though I still hate the team, I know you're a true fan. You know what bandwagon fans can do.
And I was thinking...
I think the bandwagon has destroyed the possible life for LeBron. Either you're on the bandwagon or you're not. There's no happy middle.
I was kind of thinking about this a few weeks ago when this whole option thing started or whatever, and then he opted out. At first I was like, man, that'd be so cool if he just went back to Cleveland. And then I kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, no, that would actually be really shitty of him. Because he was originally in Cleveland. He got them deep into the finals, and then he was just like, you know what? I mean, we're just not getting it done. We don't have enough pieces. And he's like, I'm going to go play with my homeboys down in Miami. And so he did that, had this huge decision, lost a ton of fans. People in Cleveland were literally burning his jersey.
It's going to be awkward on both sides. You're right.
Yeah,
he left them because he said, you guys suck. You're not helping me.
Yeah.
I'm gone. And then the fans doubled that, burning jerseys,
and now,
burning voodoo dolls.
And now it's kind of the flip side. He's won his he's been literally every single year he's played in Miami. All 4 years he's been in the finals. He's won
2 for 4 in the finals.
And now after this one, he's kind of like, well, Wade's getting up there in age. Bosch
wants
Chris
the money.
Bosh.
He's fixing to leave.
And then, so now he's like looking around the league. He's like, hey, Cleveland's looking pretty nice. They got that Kyrie Irving kid. He ain't too bad.
If they could have put those pieces together a little sooner,
I think it's gonna hurt. I think it's gonna hurt his image. His we talk about his legacy a lot. If he leaves Cleveland, hits up Miami, wins 2 titles, and he's like,
he's
all
won
right,
his titles.
Cleveland's good now. I'm gonna go back.
He'll try
I'm like, no, that's
amends
really
now.
shitty of you.
I think he needs to go somewhere off the wall. But that's the thing. Nobody's
Milwaukee. I was about to say the Bucks. Let's go.
I'm not saying somewhere where he's going to score 60 a game and lose. I mean, like
Milwaukee.
somewhere that's somewhat of a contender, but that is really random. I would have loved to see him play for Portland.
I think that'd be cool. Rip City.
Portland with LeBron. Can you imagine?
Damian.
I would have. I mean, I don't think he would have been terrible in Houston, but I think there wouldn't have been enough ball to go around. Him, Harden, and Howard. That's just another big three that just didn't. I don't know if I'd like that. I can't say I would like him in New Orleans, but we definitely need a forward, and
we could probably use LeBron. I mean, maybe.
But we don't have the money.
We could find a spot for him somewhere on the team.
I mean, could you imagine him going to the Lakers?
No, okay.
I don't think he'd swallow his pride to go to the Lakers.
Hypothetical places that have been thrown out there for LeBron that he is
100%
not going to. He's not going to play with Melo. He is not going to L.A. Scratch it off the board. It's never going to fucking happen.
What about the Lakers or what about the Clippers?
I mean,
if they had the money, honestly, I don't think they have the money.
If I'm being 100% honest, I think he stays in Miami. I think he gets his max deal. I mean, he's only going to go somewhere.
He takes the max deal and tries to hang on.
He's only going to go somewhere they can afford a max deal. I mean, there's like 7 teams that could now.
What does he need a max deal for? He makes
more
money.
LeBron's motherfucking James. He doesn't.
What do you say this? All right,
max deal.
How
this is going to get into a lot of
branched
off conversations because we can say this. Why does he need a max deal? Why the hell does he not need a max deal? He is the best player in the league.
He carries whatever the fuck team he's on.
Why the hell should he have to cut his pay so that he can afford to get some other guys in there?
So he can have some help.
I mean, I understand that.
He couldn't win by himself in Cleveland. You think he can do it now? I don't think so.
Make your money while you can make it.
Look at this last finals. Look at this last finals. He didn't have any help. He didn't win.
You're right.
He needs help. You can't afford winning a championship with Norris Cole as your wingman.
I mean,
it doesn't happen.
If he wants to be smart about it, I mean, you're right. He'll take less money and then he'll just
not less, just not a max deal. He doesn't have to play for $2 million a year.
Yeah, I mean,
why
he can
20?
take. He
or
can
15
take
or whatever the max deal is.
No, 22 is what he wants, which is the max.
A year, $22 million.
Yeah, isn't that stupid?
Yeah.
God,
So
I mean, he makes $22 million a year.
I can understand him making like.
This is the one part. This is the part of the year in any sport that I hate, the off season, because you really see how jaded and egocentrical these grown men are. All right, look, I get it. If you're a backup and you need that $2 or $3 million, that's one thing. This guy makes millions per endorsement.
Why doesn't he just? This is my thing. Why doesn't?
I don't know how this guy has more endorsements than I can ever think about.
Why doesn't he just take?
He's established.
15, like that's plenty.
Take 10. I'll never see $10 million in my life.
Take 15 million and then just.
He's bitching about getting a max deal.
Yeah, make up for it on the side with. Make up for it on the side with endorsements and.
He makes more in endorsements than some other teams probably have an entire payroll. I guarantee you, his endorsements per year are more than the entire Milwaukee Bucks payroll.
Well, yeah, his endorsements way outweigh his actual salary.
I get it. If you're just trying to make money in the game, make as much as you can because you're not going to play forever. Yeah. I get that side of it. But my God, what's the difference between $15 and $20 million? At that much money, is $5 million really going to hurt you?
Good job, bud.
No, I know. That's simple math. I'm saying, for us normal Americans, working class people, $5 million is just like...
$5 million is like I can quit working.
Yeah, if somebody gave me $5 million a day, I would retire.
Because I'm still going to live in my
apartment.
apartment.
From my Italian restaurant job.
I can just go to school debt-free, get a regular career, make $50 a year, and be happy.
No, fuck school. I'll go buy a boat and just be a fucking couch potato the rest of my life.
But when you're already made millions of dollars, he's probably combined basketball money and endorsement money. I'm willing to bet LeBron's made over $100 million already.
Oh. No, easy.
So what the hell is the difference in $5 or $10 million?
He could probably if he plays until he's like.
He's only like what 32, 33.
If he plays like 8 more years, and he plays till he's 40. He could possibly
make 100 something in basketball money alone.
Oh yeah, basketball money, and then when you add in like all of his endorsement deals, he could probably be the first athlete
This
to be
dude's got Nike.
A billionaire.
He's got Nike, beach, McDonald's,
Anything.
soda companies.
All he's got to do is say, "Hey, I'm LeBron James. I kind of like the product," and they'd be like,
"You know what? You're worried about? He might not make He might not make $22 million a year contract basketball
Summer's
money.
Eve.
As soon as he's done, he can go to whatever sports network he wants
"I'm LeBron James
and say, I'd like to be your
you should
analyst."
eat Big Red or fuck you.
If
You don't chew Big Red, then fuck you."
He could do the Ricky Bobby ads. It doesn't matter. He could sell tampons. Guess what? He'll sell tampons.
If you don't like the Miami Heat, these tampons are for you, bitch.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's
You don't know
me.
who the Miami Heat
That's
are.
me, the
These
college
tampons are for
student
you,
that's going to
bitch.
have student loans in a few more years.
Yeah.
Wondering what the hell is his problem. I get it. You want to make as much as you
Yeah.
can before your body gives out. I get that. But when you're established, you've won 2 championships and I don't know what, 4 MVPs, $5 or $10 million a year difference. Fuck you,
My
LeBron.
thing is, there's people that I don't know. It's just
Same thing.
he's got a different set of rules. I mean, like Kobe did
Yeah.
the same thing. Kobe gets hurt, and he
Kobe
still
breaks a
signs.
girl and gets away
He
with
still
it.
signs a
It's-
max deal. He gets he got $40 million for like 2 years, and
Well,
nobody
that's
was
the thing.
like,
Bosch is getting offered 4 years, $96 million
yeah. Which if I'm
from Houston.
if
from
I'm
Houston.
Chris Bosch's agent, I'm like, you sorry bastard, take this money,
You dinosaur-looking motherfucker,
cash
please go to Houston.
money.
What do you think his agent
Because
gets
if he
of that
stays in
96
Miami,
million?
I think the most he could make in Miami with
He had
with LeBron, with what LeBron is doing,
he
trying
had
to get his
identical
money.
salaries with
Yeah.
LeBron last year, which is astounding.
Yeah.
There's only been 4 players
I think this year.
on a roster at any given time in any part of his life or career that had the same amount of money as LeBron.
Yeah, I think because what LeBron is trying to do is he's trying to get him a shit ton of money, and he's trying to convince, or he's already got him to opt out, so maybe it's working. Trying to convince Wade
I think
and
what
Bosh to
happened
take
is
less.
I think he kind of started to, and then for whatever reason the drugs wore off, and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh saw the light, like saying,
Well, it's too
We're
fucking
part
late
of
if you're
this-
Dwayne Wade. Because
Dwayne,
I mean,
he'll
nobody
resign.
thinks Wade's going to go anywhere but Miami.
well, that's the thing.
So he's
gonna-
already screwed. He's taking less money.
No.
He opted
That's
out
the
of his
thing.
contract.
No, he opted out. It doesn't mean he has to take less money. What if he's the only one that comes back?
No, he would still take less because if Bosch leaves, then that just frees up even more money. And I mean,
Exactly. He'll make more money because then he
they
can
would
say,
want. They would
he
still
can
want
say,
Dwayne
give
to
me
take
what I
less.
was making. No, he can say, screw
Get
y'all.
2 guys instead of 1 if Bosch comes back.
The Heat would want him to take less. Wade wouldn't. I know he wouldn't. He'd take what he was making or more.
I think
There's
the Heat
no
would-
way if neither Bosch or LeBron comes back, there's no way Wade takes a cut.
Oh no! I'm saying I'm talking to this point is LeBron's back. LeBron's gonna get max deal. Wade's gonna have to take a pay cut, and if Bosch leaves and Wade refuses to take a pay cut, the Heat will let him walk.
Yeah, but then you're LeBron and who else?
Okay, pal, see ya.
If they don't get Melo,
Hey Kevin Love, what's up?
well, that's next
Get
year.
your ass
What are they
over
going to
here.
do this year?
No, Kevin Love's a free agent.
No, he's not.
But he's
Not
trying to
till
get
next year.
he's trying to get traded.
He's got 1 year left, and the Heat don't have the
I don't
assets.
think he's gonna be in a Timberwolves jersey this year.
No, but he definitely won't be with the Heat. I guarantee it. They don't have the assets to trade for.
No.
They're in the same boat as the Lakers. They've got like 3 guys under contract right now. Yeah, that means they've got a lot of free money.
Yeah.
But who are they going to sign?
Yeah.
There's not 5 LeBrons just floating around in the free agent market right now.
Oh, but there is a LeBron.
There's a one LeBron, and there's a Melo.
and a Bosch.
But they can't pay all those guys. You pay those guys, they're going to have worse bench than they've had the last few years. And obviously, we saw the bench was their downfall
Yeah.
last year.
I think if
Why
we're
do you
talking,
think the Spurs were good? They have a deep, complete team.
If we're
Everybody's
talking,
friendly and shares the money.
yeah, if we're talking hypotheticals that would be badass to watch, LeBron James in a Houston Rockets jersey
With Harden
with
and Howard.
Dwight Howard and James Harden.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh my God!
Add in Parsons and whoever their 2 guard or
I mean,
whoever their point guard is.
They'd have to get.
Holy
they've already
crap.
talked about like the numbers to work it out. They'd have to get rid of Jeremy Lin and Ashik, which
No,
okay.
Asic's already gone. He's been traded to New
Deuces. See you later.
Orleans. No, Asic's already gone.
Yeah.
Pell's got him. No, they're trying to get rid of Lynn to free up like $6 million a year for a bench player.
Because they overpaid Lin
In
a
that
lot. They gave him like
controversy-
a $20 million
If there's
deal.
anybody in the world that has just exploited and capitalized, it's Jeremy Lin. So bravo to you, Mr. Harvard grad. But
Yeah, well, and that.
He understands.
I
the free
had
market.
4 good weeks with the Knicks, and now I've cashed in guaranteed money. That's the thing. Even if they freaking release him, they have to pay him. So he's cashed in, and he'll still go sign somewhere else for like $2 million a year as a bench player. Maybe
David,
he could go start for Milwaukee and make $6 a year. I mean,
yeah,
it just depends on what he wants to do.
If he goes somewhere like a small market team like that, he's going to
No.
get good money still.
You're right. You put it on Miami. I think LeBron. It's Cleveland or Miami. Nowhere else that has the cap can use him. Obviously, Houston can pay him, but does he want to play with 3 or 2 other superstars? No.
Well, I mean, he's playing with 2 superstars right now, but these guys are
These guys came together. Harden and Howard. I'm not sure they like.
LeBron would be the number 1 guy, but we've already seen how Dwight Howard handles playing second fiddle.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No.
And you're right. I don't think
honestly,
he goes to LA either.
Who the hell is going to beat the Houston Rockets when they have James Harden, LeBron James, and
Howard? If you can get
Dwight
those
Howard,
3 to work,
nobody.
if you can get those 3 to work together as a cohesive unit,
you might as well let them sign the contract and go ahead and give them their championship ring.
That's if they work together as a team. That's it, championship.
For as long as all their contracts are right.
And then you, like you said, you throw in a guy like Chandler Parsons who can sit out.
One of the best power forward shooting
threes.
3-pointers in today's game. Oh my God, I could play point guard. They can go 4 guys.
I can play point guard.
I got the right height. I can look like Nate Robinson
At
out
that
there.
point, it's like that Will Ferrell movie, Kicking and Streaming. Just pass it to LeBron.
Pass it to the Italians. No, wait, LeBron.
No, wait, Dwight Howard. No, wait, James Harden.
Parsons, you have so many options.
Straight pass to Hunter.
I'm good for an assist every now and then. Open free throw, maybe. Oh, come on now. So I think we just can't wait. Hey, man, I'll be making the money. I'll be good for the minimum. They only got to pay me that much. I'll take $500,000 a year.
I would play for that team for $7 a day.
I will take the veteran.
I'll
minimum,
play for minimum wage.
Just match what I'm making now. I just need like $12 an hour. Come on.
You can pay me hourly.
Do the hour. I'll pay by the 1 hour. That's all we're playing per game. You know, come on.
Jesus. Oh gosh. Oh, that's funny. But
That would be true. You know what? That is a mailbag question for Clay Travis. Could you take that lineup and an average guy as the starting point guard and still win? That's.
I mean, he would have to be able to hold the ball for less than a second and pass it.
I feel like I could survive. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to shoot the ball. I'd get my stuff packed in the next week. I
think if they inbounded the ball to you, you wouldn't make it past half court. Somebody would steal that from you.
Probably steal it. I'm saying if they played off defense, if we're not playing like man on, attack the guy with the ball defense, I feel like I could at least not screw up enough to get them the ball.
I honestly don't even know if you'd be able to complete pass. Just because they're that fast.
Wow.
They would I'm not saying like 100 I've seen you play, you suck ass. No, I'm saying we are. Like,
right, that's an interesting
I could go to the
question.
YMCA and some dude could wax me today. But, like, if I'm playing in the NBA, they're going to read my body language or whatever. They're definitely going to steal the ball from me. And if I try and even pass it, it better be an alley-oop straight to the rim.
And you know what? With LeBron and Howard, I think it's doable. Because that's an assist right there for me. But, I don't know. That'd be an interesting question.
So we've hit a lot of these
we talked about LeBron.
Like, what ifs.
We talked about LeBron.
Do you guys both
what
agree?
About
do you guys both agree that LeBron's just going to re-sign in Miami?
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sold yet. I mean,
I think he's going to get his money in.
The rumor mill is the rumor mill. But that's the thing. Does he want to fend for himself? That's why he left Cleveland. So the question is, what does he want to do? Does he want the money or does he want to win?
I think if he.
What about Melo and Bosch though? They've got max deals.
I've also heard things about.
Melo's.
I wouldn't be surprised if Melo re-signed with the Knicks too. If they could, he's in a similar situation with LeBron. Like he just needs 1 or 2 more pieces. He just needs Phil Jackson to bring somebody else in. But Melo's thing is, Phil Jackson has to bring in somebody that Melo likes and Melo wants to play with. And
Melo
Phil
seems like
Jackson's
a
going to
dick.
say, "Fuck you, I ain't playing that rule."
Well, Phil, he's the kind of guy you don't mess with, and Melo's just that prima donna.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with Melo. I've heard New York re-signing. I've heard L.A.
I think the coolest place for Melo,
It's
probably
the
the best fit, Chicago.
front runner.
I think
I would
Chicago.
love to see him in Chicago with McDermott now.
D Rose, maybe.
You know what?
Is that guy alive?
D-Rose.
Can he walk?
I don't count D Rose.
He's still alive.
Also, Joakim Noah, one of the best centers in the game, best defensive centers anyway. And then, like I said already, Bosch has been offered a 4-year, $96 million deal from Houston.
He needs to take that. Take it.
That would be almost as good as LeBron.
Me and Trey kind of talked about this with Bosch. If I'm Chris Bosch, he needs to decide. This is kind of a choice between your legacy and a freaking truckload of money. Because I think when he
literally they'll bring the truck to his house.
When he was in Toronto, he was the guy, and he put up big numbers. He was dropping 20 and 10 on a regular basis, and then he came, met up with LeBron and Wade, He was pretty good for about 2 years, and in these last years, he's kind of trailed off.
I'd say he's the third musketeer.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think he's always been number 3. Maybe he was 2 for a little bit.
No, I don't know. Because you don't come...
Because
honestly,
Wade was hurt.
Wade...
Yeah.
That's Wade's team, though.
Yeah.
Wade's been the career Heat. He won the title in 06 with Shaq.
Yeah.
If those 3 stayed together forever
Yeah.
and won another title, 2, 3, whatever it ended up being, Wade's always going to have one more ring.
Yeah, my thing is with Bosch is if these 3 guys stay together right now and then Bosch retires as a Heat, he's going to go down as a Hall of Famer most likely. Because, I mean, look at his career. He played in Toronto as the main guy, put up huge numbers, and then he came to Miami and won
Was
what?
still solid.
Maybe they win... Maybe he ends up winning 4 rings. They went to 4 straight title games, and then maybe they go to a couple more, and he wins like 2 more rings.
Uh-huh.
Hall of Famer. But now you say he's been to 4 straight titles. He's won 2. He was the guy in Toronto, and then he leaves and goes to Houston, and he'd be the third wheel again, and say he doesn't perform well. He doesn't put up numbers like he did in Toronto. He puts up like 15 and 6. I don't know, something random. He's not averaging a double-double. Does he retire and say he doesn't win another ring? Does he retire and finish as a Hall of Famer? Doubtful.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
not
so.
been.
I think if he stays in Miami, he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, it depends on his supporting cast. LeBron can stay there.
I mean, yeah, you can say the same thing about
He's
him
going to be
staying.
playing with the D-League All-Star team at this rate because there's no other marquee free agents. Now, if he hangs on for a year, does what he can, you're right. Kevin Love, free agent next year?
Yeah.
Still got all this free money to hand out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this year is first. I don't see the Heat doing anything spectacular next year unless they get all 3 to resign. And I'm not...
I don't think they get all
Each
3.
day that passes without that happening...
I didn't think Bosch would be this hot on the free agent market, but $96 million.
Yeah,
over 4 years, I guarantee you. I haven't seen a guaranteed figure, but if he accepted that, I'd be willing to bet half of that's guaranteed.
Yeah,
At least close to half. So we're talking $40 million guaranteed. That means he could sign the contract and break his ankle. He gets $40 million. If that's the figure, I'd be willing to bet it's around half.
And then the Melo controversy. I've heard just about every team in the damn league, really.
Seriously, a lot of teams need a good small forward.
The Lakers, I've heard.
He's one of the
Bulls,
best.
And then re-signing with the Knicks.
Those are definitely the top 3 for him. I mean, maybe Houston will take whoever wants to sign. That's one of those few guys.
Houston's gonna get somebody.
Bosch or Melo's looking at the
just
top 2.
I think it's just a matter of who. I think really the entire, well, not the entire league. Just everybody in the league that can afford him right now is just kind of waiting for LeBron, because unlike when he went to Miami, LeBron has been totally silent.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen any commercials about the second decision or anything.
I think he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, I think this time around it's going to be much better. He's going to do the right thing.
He's seriously thinking about going to Cleveland.
I think he's going to do the right thing this time. Wherever he goes, if he leaves Miami, he's going to do it the right way. He'll probably have a press conference. He'll thank all of the wonderful fans of Miami. He'll thank the owner. He'll thank Pat Riley. He'll do everything right. He won't just say,
deuces,
double bird salute, I'm going to Miami. Not 5, not 6, not 7. It's going to be like, I'm really excited to join the Cavaliers. Blah, blah, blah. Your typical boring press conference that every fan's going to be like, okay, at least he wasn't a dick.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. And
I hope something crazy happens. Like, I honestly think it's just going to be a bunch of guys opting out and then re-signing and getting better deals, getting their contracts restructured. But I hope it's something crazy like LeBron to LA, the Clippers or something, and Melo to freaking Houston, Bosch to Milwaukee.
Well, these guys.
What happened?
Kevin Love to Chicago.
I don't think these guys are going to give up their potential winning for money, but they want to find somewhere in the middle of that where they can make good money and still be a contender.
Yeah, no, none of those 3. Well, definitely LeBron and Melo. They're not going anywhere that they don't see that they could win a championship this year.
Yeah, because it's never fun. Like, regardless of how much money you make, it's never fun to go to a team that's shitty.
Yeah.
I'm making $22 million a year.
Although,
Yeah, but I played
But
for
our
the
team's
Bucks,
won-
and
and
our
that's
team
why- and
won
that's why-
4 games.
We've won 20 games on the year, and I live in Antarctica.
and that's why the 76ers fans are so mad right now, because they've sucked for the past 2 years, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better. But honestly, in about 2 or 3 years,
Welcome to Cleveland, folks.
they are gonna be good.
Yeah.
The 76ers are on the right path. It's taken them a while. They're doing an
John
old-fashioned
D.
rebuilding, but they've picked up solid players in the draft, and you give them 2-3 years, they could be a 2, maybe even a 1 seed in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out, and I'm just wait for it to figure itself out, I guess.
We've hit soccer and basketball pretty well. Hunter, you're the
I'm the
in-home
American. I'm
you're
the
in-home
American of the
baseball
group,
guy.
so
Still stuck to that pastime thing, whatever that is.
baseball, the good old game. Man, you gotta give it some respect.
I'll give you some credit. I ended up going I talked a lot of shit when it started, but I ended up getting pretty into the College World Series.
Yeah, me too.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Yes.
Joining the SEC Brotherhood of National Champions.
Anchor down, boys. That was fun to watch. And I think mainly because it was Vandy. They're close to home.
Blackman
And,
alums,
yeah,
Andrew Will, the starting first baseman.
Yeah, we know a guy.
Good for us.
We knew a guy that was on the team. That was kind of cool to pull for.
So LSU, Georgia, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt now all SEC teams with a national title, and many more that have been in the championship game that came very close to doing it. So who says SEC is just a football conference, folks?
Yeah.
Well, I saw something on Twitter the other day that said Mississippi State is the only team in the SEC that hasn't won a national title in the Big Four.
Baseball, basketball, football.
I didn't know what the other one was. It said
SEC
Big
men doesn't
Four.
play soccer
Is it
or
women's
hockey.
basketball? Women's and men's basketball, football, and baseball?
Maybe. I don't know. They said Big
That
Four.
has to
and
be
I
what
was
it
like,
That's
is.
gotta be
It
what
has
it
to
is.
be both basketballs.
I mean, women's basketball, it's pretty big.
Yeah, that has to be what it is because SEC men's does not play soccer or hockey.
No, yeah. It's got to be both women's sports.
But still, that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's
Mississippi State. Poor Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Right.
Vanderbilt's only national title before this baseball one
It was
was
2007
women's bowling.
Women's. You know they don't have a softball team?
Our women's bowling is supposed to be super good.
UTSU?
What?
UTSU?
No,
MTSU?
no, Vandy.
Oh.
I thought that's what you were just talking about.
Yeah, you said out.
They are good. Yeah, you said Howard. You don't go to Vandy.
Well, obviously, I'm not near smart enough to do that.
All
Or
right.
rich enough, so.
American League and National League All-Star Game roster set a week from tomorrow, July 15th. So I'll read off the ballots, or actually the lineups for you.
This would be a fun game. Name all these players and see if me and Trey know all of them. I
All
could
right.
probably know all of the All-Stars. I'll give you a yay or nay
They're-
if I know that, if I've
they're-
heard of these guys.
The All-Star Game will be in Minneapolis.
See, that's a difference. Heard or no?
Heard,
Heard,
little-
probably.
little
No,
background.
definitely not.
I don't watch baseball. I know players, so I probably know every player on the
Not
All-Star.
an American.
We'll see.
Actually, the National League's some new guys. So,
We'll see.
so the American League will be the home team. They'll be using DHs. I think starting pitcher is still to be announced. So we'll see. All right, to the NL catcher Yadier Molina. You know the
Yes.
team.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Cardinals, very good. First base Paul Goldschmidt,
Okay. lost
Arizona Diamondbacks. Second base Chase Utley,
me. Heard of it.
Philadelphia Phillies. Third base Aramis Ramirez,
Yeah, heard of him.
longtime Cub, current
Dog.
Milwaukee Brewer. Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki,
Yeah.
Colorado Rockies.
Yes. Is he still with the Rockies? I thought I got
Yeah,
traded.
Rockies. Outfielders Andrew McCutchen,
Yeah, Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates. Carlos Gomez,
No.
another freaking Brewer. Brewers are having a good year if you didn't know. And of
Did
course,
not.
okay, you guys know this last guy, Yasiel Puig.
No, just kidding. Dodgers.
Can't watch sports center without seeing him. Pitchers. All right, we'll go a little quicker here because I don't think you know any of these or most of them. Madison Bumgarner of the Giants.
Heard of him.
2 Cincinnati Reds, Johnny Cueto and Aroldis Fireball Chapman.
Nope.
2 Dodgers, Greinke and Kershaw. No
Yep.
freaking kidding.
Kershaw is I saw something yesterday, like 36 straight innings,
Scoreless
innings. That's ridiculous.
Our Braves, the closer himself, Craig Kimbrell, and Julio Teheran, who is a replacement for Jeff Samardzija.
Nope. Or I thought I'd
Pat
know one of these.
Neshek of the Cardinals.
Damn.
Francisco Rodriguez
Nope.
of the Brewers.
Oh my God.
Tyson Ross of the Padres.
Nope.
Adam Wainwright of the Cardinals.
Yes.
Tony Watson of the Pirates.
No.
And Jordan Zimmerman of the Nationals.
No. That was atrocious.
I do like one of those people.
And then the reserves. These
yeah.
are just field position players, reserves. Jonathan Lucroy of the Brewers.
Nope.
Devin Mesoraco of the Reds.
Nope.
Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals.
Yes.
Starling Castro of the Cubs.
No.
Todd Frazier of the Reds.
No.
Another of the Braves. Freddie Freebird Freeman
Yes.
from the Braves. Again, I said Braves enough, Braves. D. Gordon from the Dodgers and
No.
Daniel Murphy of the Mets are the infielders.
No.
Outfielders, Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies.
No.
Josh Harrison of the Pirates.
No.
Hunter Pence from the Giants.
No.
And Giancarlo Stanton from the Marlins.
Maybe.
If you haven't seen Giancarlo's patriotic batting sleeve, I suggest you Google it. It's badass.
Have not seen it.
I'm not a Marlins fan, but it's badass. To the American League. All right, let's see what you were worse at, American League or the National League.
That was rough. I thought that'd be a lot better.
These are very deep rosters, so anyone that's going to watch this, please bear with me.
I guess if I haven't heard your name on SportsCenter, I don't know you.
All right, filling in for the elected starter and injured Matt Wieters at catcher is Salvador Perez
Yes.
of the Royals.
I wouldn't be able to tell you roles. I've just heard the name.
Miguel Cabrera
Yeah.
of the Tigers at first base. Robinson Cano
Yeah.
from the Mariners.
Okay.
Josh
Heard
Donaldson
that before.
at third base from
Named
the
it.
A's. Right alongside Ruco's own Sonny Gray.
Yes.
Derek Jeter at shortstop.
Yep. Who's that guy? Wait, what?
God, if you don't know who
Who's
Derek
Derek
Jeter
Jeter?
is, go get under a
No,
rock.
seriously, who's Georgia?
Jose Bautista
Yeah.
for the Blue Jays. I don't know what. I think he's a right fielder. Mike Trout, who's becoming
I know who
quickly
that
my
is.
favorite young baseball player. And then Adam Jones rounds out the outfield from the Orioles. And then the already designated hitter,
Pac-Man?
Nelson Cruz of the Orioles. Your pitchers,
This is where I struggle. So
Dylan
many.
Ventases
No.
from the Yankees, Mark Burley from the Blue Jays, Yu Darvish,
Yeah.
Mr. Almost Perfect from the Rangers, Sean Doolittle of the A's, Felix Hernandez from the Mariners,
Yeah.
Greg Holland from the Royals, Scott Kazmir from the A's,
Yes.
John Lester from the Red Sox,
Yes.
Glenn Perkins of the Twins, the home team, or host team.
Whatever. Lying bitch.
Max,
I feel like I've heard some of
you
these
probably
names
heard the
before.
names, you wouldn't know who
Like
they played
Glenn
for.
Perkins sounds
Kendrick.
familiar for
Kendrick
some reason.
Perkins.
You think of
That's
Kendrick
probably
Perkins.
what it is, but whatever.
Max Scherzer of the Tigers,
Yeah.
David Price,
There you go.
My boy, Blackman alum, BHS pride.
and rounding up the pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Now the fielder reserves. Derek Norris at catcher from the A's, also Kurt Suzuki, backup catcher from the Twins. Matt Wieters, like I said, on the roster, won't start or play. He's hurt. Infielders, Jose Abreu from the White Sox. I know you don't know this.
Heard his name.
You've heard his name because he's either leading or top 2 or 3 in home runs in the whole league. He's a rookie. Just throwing that out there.
Good job, buddy.
Jose Altuve
Good for you.
from the Astros. Wow, the Astros have an all-star. Adrian,
Zing.
I saw a guy with the Astros shirt on the other day in Subway, and I was like, wow, you really come outside in that? He was like, yeah, no, it's...
That's a true
Yeah.
fan, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, Oakland Raiders, Houston Astros, you're a true fan. Adrian Beltre, third base reserve for the Rangers. Edwin Encarnacion, first base reserveman from the Blue Jays. Brandon Moss, first base reserve from the A's. And Alexi Ramirez, shortstop reserve from the White Sox. Outfielder reserves, Michael Brantley from the Indians. Yoenis Cespedes, defending home run derby champion from the A's. And Alex Gordon from the Royals. I don't know why they have this, but designated hitter backup Victor Martinez from the Tigers. So there you go. There's your all-star teams. July 15th in Minneapolis. These two will not be watching.
I might watch Home Run Derby. That's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I
No,
think that's,
Home Run
I think
Derby's
that's
fun
Monday
watching.
night, so the 14th.
I don't give a shit about the game, but the Home Run Derby's fun.
That's
Yeah.
always fun, isn't it? Tulo and Troy Tulowitzki and no, not Trout. God, who's the other captain? I hate how they do this captain format bullcrap now.
Oh, do they like pick teams or something?
Yeah,
Like
and they
gym
do.
style.
They have, yeah, they pretty no. It's not even like from a group of people. They just start asking around the rest of the league, like, "Hey, you're another National League really good batter. Will you be on my team? You want to
That's
do the home run derby?"
really dumb.
And they don't have like a. I don't get why they do it. They do the team format,
Did you name
but
Big-
there's still an individual winner.
Did you name Big Papi? Ortiz?
Poppy was not on the roster.
Wow.
You know, people get old. I would be willing to bet he gets picked for the home run derby. Though.
I was about to say,
I
I just
hope
remember
so.
him batting like 600 in the World Series last year.
Yeah. So I'll go over the first and second place teams in every division because I won't tell you that Boston's last, what I just did. Baltimore leading the American League East. Toronto's in second place by 2 games. Detroit leads the Central. Kansas City's in second by 4 games. Oakland, best record in baseball.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray.
I guess you call me an
Ruocco.
Oakland. I like the Oakland
We
A's
like
and the
the
Tampa Bay
A's
Rays.
and the Rays. 'Cause Sonny,
Moneyball.
well,
I know something.
Moneyball, but Sonny Gray of Smyrna, Ruocco starting the ace now for the A's. That didn't take long. And then, of course, David Price, the vet in Tampa Bay. Would he please go to Atlanta? I want to see him play for Atlanta. But and then the Angels 3.5 back, second place. To the NL, the Braves, half a game lead over Washington in the East. Milwaukee, second best team in baseball, leads the Central. Pittsburgh in second by 4.5, and a tight one in the West. The Dodgers lead the Giants by half a game. So there you go, quick standings. And this is the 7th of July, so that'll change tonight probably. So there's your baseball update.
That's over.
Please be American.
Glad that's over.
Hey, you got to give love to the All-Stars, though. And I'm pretty sure
I'm
they're
not
doing
recognizing that they're good. I mean, I'm not recognizing that they're good. It's just
You know what
I don't really
Fa-
understand or care.
You know, probably my next favorite part about football season starting, aside from football season starting,
Baseball season ending.
no, the fact that 8 out of the top 10 plays on SportsCenter won't be a damn diving catch or a
Yes.
double play.
Okay, all right, look.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
look.
why I hate summer sports.
Double plays are pretty much routine. But when
Yes,
somebody lays
why are
out...
they a damn double play
I
on
get
the
that.
top 10 play?
When it's just it looks fancy, you beat the guy by half a step.
I
His
can-
his foot's half an inch from the bag and you get him out. I get that. That's not that special. It happens
Yes.
every day. But when a dude is running full speed and lays out full extension and his face hits flat on the ground when he catches that baseball,
those are cool, but honestly,
that is a
if I see a
top play.
diving catch 5 times in the top 10 plays in one night, it ain't that damn special. Obviously, everybody else can still do it.
Okay.
I like the ones where they rob them over the fence.
Home run robbers are definitely...
Walk-offs, grand slams, those are cool. Those are acceptable.
I don't even know if a random grand slam deserves it. A walk-off anything, maybe.
A double
You know
play
what I don't
should
like
never be a top 10 play.
Unless they do, like,
Unless it's
barehanded
like-
everything. Or
Unless it's like a
scoop 'em with
double
the glove.
play to win the World Series. I don't really care because a double play
You know
happens
what
every
you
single
know what
night.
I don't like seeing, though, on the top plays baseball? I'll tell you this. Walk-off home runs are guaranteed always, but walk-off bloop singles, walk-off anything that's not a home run, I don't like.
Yeah.
If it's not a walk-off homer, I don't care. I'll say that right now. I'm just going to go with that. Now, yes, I like it when my team walks off and wins in general, but that doesn't mean it's got to be a SportsCenter top 10 play.
Yeah.
So, there's your baseball update. Go Braves. Next on the docket, off-season. There's 3 sports in the off-season right now. Baseball is ruling the world right now. Meanwhile, we already talked about the NBA. The NHL's in a frenzy. We won't get into that today. Preds, please sign a top 6 forward. You're killing me. But the NFL, getting real interesting. And none other than good old Johnny Football's in the news. So, question, was he snorting cocaine?
I would say no.
I would like to
I
say
would
no.
hope to say no.
I would think he'd be a little smarter than that, but then again, it is Johnny Manziel.
That could
So-
just be Johnny Manziel totally being dumb and like Google snorting coke and totally
Yeah, no,
not
it could
snorting
be.
coke.
It could easily be either way. Like he could legitimately be snorting coke in a nightclub.
For those
and he
of
could
you-
legitimately be like, "Oh, JK, dude, look, this is so cool."
We're also talking about the same guy who said, "What? I can't hear you. I got too much money in my hand."
For those of you that don't know, Johnny Manziel, a candid photo snapped of him not when he was looking in a bathroom, allegedly in Las Vegas around was it on 4th of July, day after, day before, rolling up a bill. I think they said $1 bill, $100 bill, whatever it was money. Rolling it up, and now, of course, when you roll up money like that,
Yeah.
most people assume you are doing something illegal.
It's common fashion
with
to
your nose.
Then proceed to
So-
snort cocaine.
But of course, no charges, no nothing, just this picture. So,
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you can't. There's no
well, you
criminal
can't go
evidence.
after the fact, but that's what we're saying. There's
The
no
only
evidence.
thing
He
that
wasn't
can
arrested.
really come of this is NFL's like, might be time to drug test that kid.
And that's the thing. I think they can't purposely drug test you because they think.
Well,
something
yeah,
happened.
they can't do. They can't say, yeah, we're gonna go drug test you, but the NFL's not dumb.
Yeah.
They've got ways where they can pull a string and they're like, oh well, you got a random drug test. I don't know. This is like so weird it happened, but there's no way to prove like that we just set this up because you have this.
It's so
picture.
weird. It's totally random. It's not.
I'm pretty sure no matter what the drug is.
Penis cup.
I'm pretty sure no matter what the drug is, first offense on a fail, I'm pretty sure it's a fine. You'll even get suspended.
No, yeah, he'd be alright, but I mean, he'd be...
You could test positive for heroin the first test and pay your fine and you're still playing. Yeah. It takes like second or third offense to get
you're taking heroin, you're probably not playing football really well.
Well, it's the off-season. They party in the off-season, man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. Heroin's like not a party drug. Heroin's like a crack, like suck a dick on the street drug.
It's like, what do we got for them? Got a pound of coke. I'm trying to show them a good time, not ruin their lives.
Pound of marijuana?
Pound of marijuana. Best party ever.
Best party.
Another Cleveland Brown teammate of Johnny Manziel's been in the news
poor
for
Josh
reasons.
Gordon, arrested for DWI.
This fool needs to get his stuff together.
Driving while incompetent.
I was contemplating
under the
using
influence.
my second overall pick on this fool in the fantasy draft because he did that well for me last year. Just stay out of trouble. I mean, my God.
You got a second overall pick.
No, my second pick.
Oh, I was about to
Total
say,
overall.
hold on. No.
You're right. I'm gonna have the first overall pick.
So even with Johnny Manziel, the Browns are still a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have anything.
And are going to
The
be
only
dumpster
thing,
fire for
the
a
only
long
thing I
time.
don't like about the state of Ohio is the Ohio State University. I hate those people. If there's a fan base, I hate more
wouldn't
than Alabama.
hate them as much if it wasn't the Ohio State University.
Well, that's the thing.
Go fuck yourselves, you arrogant pricks. The Ohio State University.
They're a prestigious university, but here's the thing. There's plenty of prestigious universities. Their football team, their basketball team, their baseball team, their everything teams have been underachieving since Jim Tressel was selling tattoos for titles in 02.
Sweater vest.
There's still a very prideful fan base, so I guess I can relate to that. But if there's one fan base I hate more than Alabama, it's Ohio State, and for arrogance reasons. At least the SEC wins, and their fans have a reason to talk smack. I mean, it'd be different if they won a title every year and they can talk smack. They hate SEC for talking crap, and that's all they do.
I never really liked Ohio State, and you just touched on it. I think I hate them more now that they have Urban Meyer. Like, he is the perfect egotistical little shit that they needed to just make me hate them even more.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I don't have anything to do. I don't hate any professional team in Ohio. And I hope they get better because I know what it's like to suck for a long time. I'm a Saints fan. We didn't always used to have Drew Brees.
Yeah,
Okay? We originated the bags on the head, so I know what it's like to lose for a long period of time. Okay, I grew up a Saints fan. I didn't know what it was like to have a winning football team until I was like 8. Okay, they made the playoffs in 2000. So I know what it's like. So I hope Cleveland can turn it around. It's good to see Cincinnati turning around. Although I don't like Cincinnati because they do the Who Day, which is just a completely terrible ripoff. But that's okay. Ginger's their quarterback, so that's punishment enough. Well, see, the Saints thing, it's a cultural chant thing. It's the way they talk, and it's New Orleans. Who Day? Are they high on crack? Who Day?
That's for
dude. The Bengals are the all criminal team. That's all I gotta say. But I don't know what's gonna happen with Johnny Manziel. I'd like to see him succeed because he was a dynamic player. But from the beginning, I always said I don't think his skills are going to translate well to the NFL. That's what I said about Tebow. A lot of people didn't believe that. I was right. Of course, I don't get paid to talk on TV. I'd love to.
I could totally.
I'd have been right there.
I could totally see Manziel having a year like Tebow or Cam Newton had their first year and just being absolute freaks. And then you give defensive coordinators an off-season to study him, learn his tactics.
I don't know if I'd have
absolutely
ever
shut him
called
down.
Tim Tebow a freak. I'd call him extremely lucky.
Dude
You
won
realize
games, man.
He won games because he had a damn good defense.
Yeah.
You realize all he had to do was throw one touchdown to win?
Yeah.
But he did consistently.
No, his stats were...
Oh, yeah, they're awful for three quarters. But
6
that
of
fourth
20,
quarter,
6 for 28. 6 for 28 with one 85-yard touchdown, he even the winner. That's not good.
I ain't trying to be Skip Bayless, but the dude won games.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not a Tebow hater anymore. I'm just, talking facts.
You ever noticed how, like, people don't look like murderers until, like, they're convicted of murder? Aaron Hernandez looks like a murderer now.
Just popped up on ESPN if you're wondering why Trey's randomly thinking of murderers.
A murderer, a racist, and a Christian walk into a bar.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Go Gators.
Also, for all of you people that care about overpaid athletes, Jimmy Graham's franchise tag has been settled. He's a tight end. Go figure. The Pro Bowl tight end that plays tight end for the New Orleans Saints as a tight end is now officially a tight end.
I honestly think the Twitter handle ruined him, man.
Dude, he had an actually in the arbitration.
Like when you go through his stats and like how often he lines up and stuff, he's got a decent argument. But then when your Twitter handle says
I'm a
tight end.
If you want to know something funny, going back to Cleveland, Gordon, their young tight end, that's one of the best tight ends in the league now.
Yeah.
He changed his Twitter bio to pass catcher for the Cleveland Browns.
Well,
I'm like, smart man.
I think it was a Saints player or something. Somebody, it was like a big fat offensive lineman changed his Twitter handle to starting NFL quarterback.
It's like, hey, what if apparently whatever my Twitter bio says I am?
It's
so
like an offensive
let's
tackle.
give me some more money.
That's hilarious. So hopefully the Saints pay him what he's deserved. More than the tight end tag, less than the receiver. Everybody wins. Let's play some football. College news. I want to get solid here for a minute. We joke about our retarded orange and blue brothers in Alabama, but got to pay our respects to Philip Lutzenkirchen. Sad day when such a young, talented man passes.
Yeah. Couldn't stand seeing him catch those passes in the Iron Bowl.
He
was a great player.
You hate players on the field, but off the field, they're SEC brothers. They're football players. They're just guys trying to make a life. I think he was from practice squad to practice squad, just trying to make it in the NFL. I believe they said when he passed, he was working with a high school as a coach. You gotta respect that.
I would hope that any reasonable fan could say that. I absolutely despise Auburn University, but I'm not gonna sit here and like.
I'm glad he died. Yeah.
I feel awful for them, and I feel bad for the university and
for his family.
People should just because when the tornadoes hit Alabama, Auburn's football team and their players and their fans were in Tuscaloosa the next day helping us out. There's a point where you've got to be able to draw the line between football and real life.
Yeah, exactly.
I can hate your football team no end, and I absolutely do. I hate Auburn football. But if something happened today
you don't want
to the town of Auburn,
yeah.
I would hope that everybody in Tuscaloosa and everybody wearing crimson would go down and help them out.
You might be different colleges, but at the end of the day, you're only a few, 50, 60 miles separated.
And I mean, how old was he?
In the same state.
He's like 20, 22, 23 years old.
23 years old.
Lost his life in a car accident.
So, prayers just go out to him. Rest in peace. Just hate to see it happen, but
it's definitely a shame. But I mean,
it happens. But life goes on. So hopefully Auburn will have a nice. They'll probably have a sticker or a patch.
Yeah,
for
they'll
him
probably
all
wear a
year,
patch.
and that's fantastic. Good way to remember him. So, I think eventually they might put up a memorial for him somewhere along the line.
He didn't make it in the NFL, but I mean, he was a big-time player for Auburn. He made some clutch plays.
If it wasn't for him, I'm not sure Cam Newton has too many reliable targets to throw to in that 2010 year.
He had the go-ahead touchdown in the Iron Bowl to beat us that year. I remember cursing that man.
Bringing up bad memories, huh? It's all good. It's all good.
Well, on that somber note, I guess we can call episode 7 a wrap. Been a really good episode. Got a lot of World
Anyone
Cup
still listening, thank you very much.
Got a lot of NFL, NBA hypothetics out there. That was fun to toss around.
Personally, I'd like to go more into football, but there's just not a lot happening right now. The NBA's in just such a frenzy right now.
We're 60 days away from football officially, so we're getting closer.
Once preseason games come around, I'm just gonna be like.
So basically, we just need to get to August. They say 60 something, but that's until the regular season.
Yeah.
We just need to get to the preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason is gonna piss me off too, but
well, no, it's real football. It's not me resorting to watching AFL on ESPN3.
Yeah.
Wow,
sad life.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay.
I know it's sad, but hey. So let me look this up real quick. Hall of Fame game will be the opener. Do you guys remember off the top of your head before it pulls up?
It's like end of August.
Anybody?
We're going to go ahead and take a guess. August 26th.
No. Way too late.
August
really?
5th?
Close.
Oh, wow.
August 3rd. Buffalo against the Giants. Hall of Fame game.
Thank God. I'm glad. That's one of those things I'm glad I'm wrong about.
August 3rd. You were going to
Hey.
say 26th. You're trying to rob us of 3 weeks.
Okay.
You
Last-
bastard.
Last little note before we head out. Go ahead and hit us up on Twitter, and if you guys are interested, I don't know if anybody is. If you noticed, me and Trey have got shirts. Hunter's still going to go get his. We had custom-made shirts made. If you guys want them, let me know. You can get them. If you're in the Murfreesboro area, you can definitely just go down and get them. Tell them it's from Darren Hobbs, the front of the Nosebleeds shirts, and they can hook you up with one. They're $25. It says FTNB. We got the logo on the front, and then on the back, I guess I'll turn around. On the back, we've got From the Nosebleeds.
You're going to want to get down on your knees.
Podcast. Oh yeah, am I? Podcast, and then our Twitter handle. If you guys want one, just send us a tweet, and we can probably work something out. But other than that, go check us out on Twitter at FTNB Podcast. And we'll see you guys next
I
episode.
think we'll do our fantasy league will be coming up soon.
Yeah,
We don't want to do it too soon. We want to see where everybody ends up signing,
Yeah.
tags get worked out and everything. So we're thinking
Yep.
preseason.
Yeah, probably another month away.
So we'll keep you guys updated on that. So we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.